Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James, and today we're going to be going over a very fun attacking game I got to play in the Caro-Kann. That's right, one of the sternest or hardest and most stubborn defenses that you can play as the black side. That's right, we're going to go ahead and attack it. In this one, we're going to learn the Panov Attack. We're going to go over some attacking ideas in it, and then, of course, if you stick around, you're going to be able to see a very nice checkmate pattern I got to get against one of my fellow chess masters. All right. Let's get to it. Here we go. In this game, we start with e4, c6, the Caro, d4, d5, pawn takes, and then we go for the Panov Attack, pawn to c4, one of my favorite ways to play. Already with this move, we're going to give ourselves the isolated pawn, or at least try to open up the position. It's almost a little psychological here for those that don't play this opening. You know, the Caro is very well known to be solid repertoire. You know, it's you're just going to get a very good position, and you don't have to try too hard as far as, well, getting into this good position, because either your opponent really attacks you too much and then you can get a good upper hand, or you get a good pawn structure out of this. With that being said, this is a fun way to attack them, but not overly press. So here he played knight f6. This is one of the best ways to defend. I played knight c3 here. I like to develop knights before bishops, and here we're putting pressure on the d5 pawn. Pawn to e6, again, still book moves. I mean, when you're playing against another master, you got to expect always the best defense. Knight to f3. Again, like I said, I want to develop my knights before the bishops. Bishop to b4, and this move I like to play, bishop to d3. I know a lot of people don't like this because of the next move that gets played. Here, d takes c4, and they feel like they lose a free tempo. Here, I don't feel like that. I played this position quite a bit from the white side, and so, yeah, I'm very happy. I actually, again, like I said, I like to play isolated pawn, so this is something I like a lot. I'm not too sure if there's another good move here that you could really play. I mean, you could take on d5 voluntarily, but why waste the tempo? Bishop d3, pawn takes, bishop takes on c4. Here we went ahead and castled, and I went ahead and castled. So here we've just got a nice equal opening that got played, and now we're going into the middle game. Now, when you're playing the middle game, especially here from the white perspective, you want to know the best plans, what to do here. Also, how you should be setting up your pieces. At this point, he went ahead and played pawn to b6. Already a move I'm very happy to see, as it makes the c file a little bit weak here. a6 is also another decent way to play, but I mean, he did get a good position and just kind of made a blunder at the end. So b6 is definitely a nice try here. I mean, one of the biggest problems when you're playing the black side is to try and get this light square bishop into the game. So b6 makes a lot of sense. You can either play bishop a6 to trade off, again, not a bad idea, or bishop b7 on long diagonal, making it a very powerful piece. And here I went ahead and played bishop g5. Another book move here. I will say, for those that do play this, I know you might be worried about your d4 pawn. Just know it actually is pretty well defended. It will take quite a while, and you should be seeing them build up to winning the pawn. So whenever you play this opening, you should be going for the attack here. You know, the isolated pawn is a weakness, but it's also a strength. It's going to control more squares in the center, but it's also going to give you good attacking chances, especially against this knight over here. That's why I went ahead and played bishop to g5 here. I want to try to get rid of this knight. One of the standard attacking ideas is to put pressure on h7, because that's the checkmate square. You might be saying, where's the checkmate at? Here, we're going to go ahead and set up the basic checkmating idea. All right, keep going. Bishop to b7 gets played. And here, rook to e1. Again, a very nice standard move here. The rook is well placed on this open file, and maybe even ideas about rook lefts in the later part of the game. Here we play knight b d7. Again, very, very solid play here so far. Pawn to a3. This move I do like, because I am questioning this bishop about where it's going to be going to. Here he went back to e7. Now, you could take on c3, which is what computer's recommending. I don't think that's the best way to play. But the reason why it does like this move is because after bishop takes, pawn takes, you can see black has a good game after rook c8. What's the idea? The idea here is that now we have a backwards pawn on an open file here. Now, this is very unintuitive, or not something that most people want to play, because they don't want to give up the bishop pair. But here black does have a very solid position here, although I believe white is still okay, at least from my view. With that being said, he brought the bishop back to e7, and now I played rook c1, getting my bishop. I'm getting my rook to its good square. Rook to c8, attacking my bishop, and here I like this move. Bishop to a2. This move may look a little weird to some people, but remember what I was talking about talking about attacking on h7. Here I'm going to be starting that idea. What's the idea? I'm going to put my bishop to b1 and then my queen to d3. And the idea here is just threatening queen takes h7 checkmate ideas. And you're probably saying, hey, there's a knight defending it. That's okay. You know, to get to the next level of chess, you have to create weaknesses. Your opponent will not create weaknesses by themselves. And so by doing this setup of threatening checkmate on h7, it's not to actually get checkmate. It's just so that they can make weaknesses. For instance, h6 would be great. If they play h6, there's sacrificing on h6 ideas. If they play g6, which does block the diagonal, well, now the dark squares get weak. So any way that they defend against this idea, they're going to create weaknesses, which takes me to the next step of creating that king side attack. We have to provoke weaknesses and then attack them. All right, here we go. h6 was played. I was very happy to see this. Remember, I mentioned h6 ideas about sacrificing. Do we sacrifice now? Not yet. We're going to keep that on hold, but now we do have ideas about it. So here I played bishop h4, just maintaining the pin. Bishop f4 is also another very good move here. In fact, bishop f4 is probably a little bit more accurate because it'll keep ideas of maybe playing queen d2 with sacrificing on h6 ideas. Yeah, I didn't play the best move. I played bishop to h4. He played pawn to a6. Queen to d3. A nice move here, preparing bishop to b1, again for the idea of queen h7 checkmate. Here he played b5, a nice move here too. This move not only grabs more space on the queen side, but can start looking to attack the d4 pawn later on. All right, here we go. Bishop b1. Now I do have threats about queen h7 checkmate, but because the knights are here defending each other, I don't have the threat just yet. But that does mean that he can't just move the knight away, or else I could take on f6, getting rid of the defender, and then threaten checkmate, which wins a piece. Here, pawn g6 got played, and this is a normal-looking move. Unfortunately, it does not do the best right here. Why? Well, because g6 got played, the dark squares around the king got weak, and you can see as once the pawns start moving forward, well, then there's going to be some weaknesses being generated. All right, here we go. Knight to e5 got played, a move I really like. And here the threat is actually to sacrifice on g6, and this will probably lead to a checkmate, if not just a winning position. He saw this, of course, and played knight takes e5. Here, bishop takes f6 ideas don't work because the pawn is blocking. And I don't want to take with the pawn here, because if I do, well, queens can trade here, and yeah, this is not going to be good for me. I want to do attacking game, so I don't want to trade off queens, which is one of my most important pieces. Rook takes on e5, a move they don't like. Rook to c4, a very nice idea. The idea here of rook c4 is putting pressure on d4. Each move is making a threat. My biggest weakness is the isolated pawn. Rook c4 is a good move. A computer doesn't like it as much, but hey, computers are well above us all. And at this point, you can see that it's saying instead play knight to d5, and this also makes sense. Why? The idea is to make trades. If he can trade down all his pieces, well, then I won't really have a very good attack, right? All my pieces are gone. And if you trade down all the pieces and go to the endgame, this king and pawn endgame with an isolated pawn is supposed to just be a loss. All right, so back to the game. Here we played rook c4. Again, a decent-looking move. And here I made maybe not the best move either. I played knight e2. I saw d4 getting attacked, so I just defended it. Here the computer likes instead rook to d1, which also makes sense to me. But I played knight e2 here. He traded. I took. And then he played knight to d7, a blunderful move. At this point, I had 3 exclams coming back to back, double exclams coming back to back. And yes, none of this has been edited. These are all true double exclams given to us by chess.com. Thank you very much. And it is now white to move. Feel free to push pause if you want to. But it is white to move here and get a very nice move in for the attack. All right, if you didn't push pause and you're trying to figure it out, good luck to you. If you were able to find the move, congratulations. Here you get to play the amazing rook takes on e6 here. I was very happy to have played this. And here the idea is very nice because it's a double attack. Not only are we threatening bishop takes on e7, we're also threatening rook takes and rook takes on g6 over here. Notice that the pawn cannot take, because if pawn takes, it's just a quick checkmate in 2. Queen takes on g6 check, king over to h8, and then queen h7's checkmate. And notice, well, you should not be taking this bishop over here. Little did my opponent know. Bishop takes on h4 got played, and what do you play now? That's right, the same idea as earlier. Rook takes on g6 over here, double exclam, and again we are threatening the simple idea of the checkmate on h7. Again, pawn takes, queen takes, and checkmate on h7 will happen. So here he went ahead and played king to h7, and I must have been eating my Wheaties. There was actually a forced checkmate in 4. Unfortunately, I did miss the final, the checkmate in 4 here, but I did find a nice win here. It's white to move. What do you play now? The last 3 moves are all rook moves you get to play. Rook to h6. double exclam over here, attacking the king once again. And here, black has nothing better than to accept. If he doesn't accept, then he will be checkmated. And here, king takes on h6. Like I said, I did miss the checkmate in 3 here. I went ahead and played queen h7 check. He played king g5. And now I missed the forced checkmate here, which was queen g7 check. The king is forced to f4. Knight to e2 checkmate. It would have been a great way to end the game. Unfortunately, I made some mistakes here. I was able to find the win in not so nice of a way. Here I went ahead and played queen to f5 check, king h6, queen check, king to g5. This was an online game. I was just trying to gain time on the clock as far as like being able to think about positions a little bit more. And here I just ended up playing pawn to g3, which it's winning, but just not the best way to win. Again, queen g7 was going to be a forced win there. Here he played rook h8. Again, we were both getting low on time at this point. So now I was able to find the win. Queen g7 check. He played king over to h5, and hopefully you see a nice checkmate in 1 here. You got it? Here you just end up playing the simple move of pawn g4. I played queen takes f7 check, king g5, and then queen g6 checkmate because I got swag. No, I'm just kidding. I missed the checkmate of g4 there, but I was able to find the checkmate in 2 right there with queen to g6 checkmate. All right, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and give us that like and subscribe. Again, this whole video was just about playing the Panov Attack against the Caro. Some attacking ideas with it and playing isolated pawns. And, well, very nice checkmate at the end. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video.